Predictive analytics has emerged as a powerful tool in numerous fields, from healthcare and finance to marketing and law enforcement. By using data, statistical algorithms, and machine learning techniques, predictive analytics allows organizations to forecast outcomes, identify trends, and make data-driven decisions. As its applications expand, predictive analytics holds the potential to revolutionize industries and improve lives. However, with its vast capabilities comes an array of ethical concerns that must be carefully addressed to ensure its responsible use. At its core, predictive analytics is about making informed predictions based on past data. In healthcare, for example, predictive models can help doctors anticipate patient outcomes and diagnose diseases earlier. In marketing, businesses use predictive analytics to understand consumer behavior and offer personalized recommendations. Similarly, predictive tools are used by law enforcement agencies to forecast crime patterns and by financial institutions to assess credit risk. While these applications can lead to increased efficiency, cost savings, and better outcomes, they also raise important ethical questions about fairness, privacy, and accountability. One of the most significant ethical issues surrounding predictive analytics is the risk of bias. Predictive models are built on historical data, and if that data reflects biases, whether related to race, gender, socioeconomic status, or other factors, the resulting predictions can perpetuate those biases. For instance, if a predictive model used in hiring is trained on data from a company that has historically hired more men than women, the model may favor male candidates, even if unintentionally. Similarly, predictive policing tools that rely on historical arrest data may unfairly target certain communities, reinforcing discriminatory practices. This form of bias is often referred to as data bias or algorithmic bias, and can lead to unfair outcomes that disproportionately affect marginalized groups. Another ethical concern is the issue of privacy. Predictive analytics often relies on large volumes of personal data, such as browsing history, purchasing behavior, health records, and social media activity. While this data can be invaluable for creating accurate predictions, it also raises significant privacy concerns. Many individuals may not be fully aware of how their data is being collected, used, and shared, leading to potential violations of their privacy rights. Moreover, predictive models can sometimes make inferences about individuals that they may not be comfortable with, such as predicting health issues or financial troubles. The collection and use of such sensitive data require careful consideration of consent, transparency, and the protection of personal information. The transparency of predictive models is another key ethical issue. Many predictive algorithms, particularly those based on machine learning, are often referred to as black boxes because they operate in ways that are not easily understood by the people who use them. For example, an algorithm may make a decision about whether a loan should be approved based on a complex set of variables, but the reasoning behind the decision may not be transparent to either the applicant or the loan officer. This lack of transparency can lead to a lack of accountability, as individuals may not fully understand how decisions are being made or why certain outcomes are occurring. In some cases, this lack of clarity can contribute to the erosion of trust in predictive technologies, particularly when people feel that decisions are being made without their input or understanding. While predictive analytics can offer significant benefits, it also presents significant risks if not used responsibly. One of the key risks is the potential for over-reliance on predictive models. In some cases, organizations may place too much trust in predictive tools, allowing them to make important decisions without human intervention. This can be problematic, as predictive models are not infallible and may not account for all the nuances of a particular situation. For instance, an algorithm that predicts a person's risk of committing a crime may overlook critical factors, such as personal circumstances or the potential for rehabilitation. Over-reliance on predictive analytics can lead to decisions that lack empathy and fail to account for the complexity of human behavior. To mitigate these risks, it is essential for organizations to implement ethical guidelines and best practices for the use of predictive analytics. One important step is to ensure that predictive models are fair and free from bias. This can be achieved by carefully auditing the data used to train the models and identifying any patterns of discrimination. Additionally, organizations should prioritize transparency by making their models explainable and accessible to users, allowing people to understand how decisions are being made. Furthermore, businesses and institutions should prioritize privacy by ensuring that personal data is collected, stored, and used in ways that respect individuals' rights and consent. Another important ethical consideration is the need for accountability. If a predictive model leads to an unjust or harmful decision, it is essential to hold those responsible for the model's creation and use accountable. This includes ensuring that individuals involved in the development of predictive models are properly trained in ethics and that they consider the potential societal impacts of their work. It also involves establishing clear lines of responsibility for the decisions made based on predictive analytics. If a model leads to an unfair outcome, it is crucial to have mechanisms in place to challenge or correct the decision. As predictive analytics continues to advance, it is clear that its impact will only grow. The technology offers incredible potential for improving lives, increasing efficiency, and solving complex problems. However, its widespread use also brings significant ethical challenges that must be addressed. By prioritizing fairness, transparency, privacy, and accountability, organizations can ensure that predictive analytics is used responsibly and ethically. Ultimately, the goal should be to harness the power of predictive analytics to create a more just and equitable society, where decisions are informed by data but guided by ethical principles.